Today we found out the shooter had lost both parents. His adoptive mom had just died in November, and there have been some claims that he had been bullied, and it seemed that people knew he was dealing with some heavy-duty issues. 4 in Your Corner speaking with a self-described grief counselor who says that could have played a role in yesterday's tragedy.
One can only hope and imagine that if he would have had a place where people showed that they cared about him, even just one person can sometimes make all the difference.
So what do you do if you want to be that one person? Maybe a family member, a kid at school, appears to have mental illness, might be a threat to himself or herself or others around them. 4 in Your Corner's Tony Sadiku speaking with one parent who knows this pain, desperately trying to find help for his daughter who struggles with mental illness. Tony?
Tony, the father, telling me he's faced many sleepless nights worrying his daughter would end up hurt or hurting others. He says he feels like his hands are tied because no matter how many times he tries to help her, he feels like he's getting nowhere.
I really don't know nothing else to do. I can't sleep at night. Every time I hear a siren, I think it's her.
James Laster wants his daughter back.
About 10 years ago, I noticed she started acting differently, on the phone, profanity. Staring at walls, talking to walls and things like that.
Laster says his daughter Dana is now 33 years old and diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia.
Issues will get in the way.
In the way of her job, her kids, and her home. Laster tells me his daughter now lives on the streets of Santa Barbara Boulevard.
If you go straight across, and then we can get on later, because sometimes she walks down that road to get here.
Laster and I drove this afternoon looking for her.
Some of the spots would be right here, standing over there by the red box. She'll be standing over there.
She was nowhere to be found.
The whole entire time, just standing there.
Laster says the worst part is she refuses to get help.
We tried to take her into a professional. No way you're getting her in there. It's just the worst. It's like a slow death, watching your kid die, and there's nothing you can do.
And when he tries to get her help, they've told him
she got to act up, get hurt, get hit by a car, or something's got to happen terrible before this help can come.
Even though he believes his daughter desperately needs it.
She's a danger to herself and others because she hears these voices and they tell her things, and she's constantly talking to herself, answering these voices that that's controlling her.
So what can he do to protect her child? Clinical psychologist Dr. Lauren Mason says call the police or mental health professional.
If there's truly a threat that she could harm herself or someone else, then she's eligible for a mandatory psychological evaluation.
All she needs is medication, and she's just as normal as you and I.
And as Dr. Mason said, the Florida Baker Act allows law enforcement and healthcare professionals to involuntarily require someone to receive a mental health evaluation if they show signs of maybe having a mental illness or are a threat to themselves or others. Tony Sadiku, Fox 4 in Your Corner.
All right, thank you, Tony.